Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, why Barbie wasn't the biggest Oscar nomination snub.
Also, we talk about your least favorite coworker and more on the Worst of the Riot podcast.
The stories you love with the opinions you hate. The Riot Radio U.
Battle of the Buzz. It's happening. About an hour from now, new music from Gladden. A new artist here in the Battle of the Buzz. We haven't played Gladden before, have we?
Not that I know of.
No, I don't think so. And then I'll tell you, we've definitely played Project 86 before, and they're in the Battle of the Buzz as well. So you're going to want to be here for that about an hour from now. Also coming up, Valentine's Day. One of the great ways to, or the great times of year to get revenge on your ex for some reason. And I've got another option for you if you want to really stick it to them. You ready for this one? An animal shelter in Rhode Island is offering you the chance to have their litter box filled with your ex's name.
So when they say filled, they mean like a piece of paper? They put down, like kind of like when people do that with like urinals too. Like they'll put like a face on there.
They will?
Of someone they despise. I've seen that before. Haven't you seen that?
No.
I remember at my high school, we had like our rival and all the urinals that was in there. Fun fact. You know, like the sports teams' bathrooms.
I kind of like that. That's like that Calvin and Hobbes bumper sticker coming to life
Mm-hmm.
in real life. So, but it says that if you donate $5 to the Rhode Island Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, they will write the name of an ex-friend. It doesn't have to be an ex-lover, even though they also point that out. Or even just something you wish to bury in a litter box. Whatever it is, they'll write the name and put it in their cat litter box, and their shelter cats will do their business all over it. And I think I'd say, it's nice. It is nice that it's for seemingly a good cause, a pet shelter, helping support them. That's nice. But we agree, right? That this is doing this to your ex. It just kind of makes like, what would your ex think if they saw that? What do you think? What is the positive here? Besides just donating, which you can do anytime, any amount.
See, in my mind, it's just like, if I was the ex and they did this to me, I would be like, dang, still can't get over me. That's crazy.
Right. Right. So we're on the same page of that. But then I was also thinking, one question that's never asked about this is, what do the cats think of this? They didn't sign up for this. If somebody gave you the name of a cat and told you to do exactly what you said, put it in your urinal, in your toilet, you'd be like, I'm not going to get involved in this. Leave me out of it. You and that cat have a beef. That's your problem, not
mine. Is it a bad
mine.
look for the cats, you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think the cats,
Bad
I don't think
PR.
anybody's asking if then now maybe they also too are probably like, well, at least we're getting $5. That probably means some better kitty food or whatever for them. But at the same time, at what cost, what price would somebody have to pay you to get involved in somebody else's scuffle and somebody else's breakup?
See, but for me, like, I'm not evil. Cats, on the other hand, cats are evil.
That's right. They got a little bit of a mean streak.
That's kind of like the show's stance at this point, that we think cats are a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
They're a little evil.
That's a good
and so
point.
I think they're perfectly fine getting involved in this. They don't care.
Yeah, that's actually true. You found it. But for all the other animals, like the cockroaches and stuff that are involved in this time of year, leave the cockroaches alone. They didn't ask to be involved in your breakup. So stop bothering them.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
New music from Project 86 and Gladden, because that's what we've got for you in the Battle of the Buzz today, which is now just 30 minutes away. So stick around for that. Now, yesterday, a huge, potentially large day for me. Yesterday, the Oscar nominations were announced.
I won an award.
Yes.
Been dying for an award.
Yeah, one day we'll get one. One day. But in the meantime, a bunch of actors are going to get awards.
Did you call for
actors?
SpongeBob heavy this morning?
Yeah, a lot of SpongeBob. Let's go through. I'll just do the best picture where the nominees are. American Fiction. Talked about that here before. Anatomy of a Fall. I believe that's a French courtroom drama. So exciting.
So we haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Barbie.
Heard
Have
of her?
seen it. Have seen it. The Holdovers. Have seen it. That's a Christmas movie. Killers of the Flower Moon. I've seen it. It's a new Martin Scorsese movie. Then you have Maestro on Netflix. Bradley Cooper. Also Past Lives. Don't know what that is. Poor Things. That's where Emma Stone is like a Frankenstein, but she's like has a brain of a child, apparently.
Wow.
Oppenheimer and A Zone of Interest. Those are your nominees for Best Picture. Isaiah, you've seen 0 of them.
Correct.
Do you think you will watch any before the Oscars, which, by the way, are in March?
The only ones that I have a chance of probably seeing,
Probably.
probably not seeing Oppenheimer, Barbie. See, the thing about like those ones, I know Oppenheimer's good, super long, so that's a big commitment.
I know. That's why I haven't seen it either. And additionally, it's not if it was just me, I may have watched it. But my wife is interested enough that she's like, we got to watch it together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then we have to both have 3 hours to block out for something that's not football.
Okay, good. Even so, that makes it harder.
Yeah, that's right. But football's about to end.
And then the Barbie movie, everybody who's seen it that I've talked to
Mm-hmm.
has been like, it's good, but not as good as everybody's hyped it up to be.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm surprised that it's nominated for Best Picture, but it's clearly not going to win. It's definitely out of the, what have I seen? 3. It is the worst of the 3. I don't like to use the word worst. It's not the best out of the 3 that I've seen. Now, Barbie, also the center of some Oscars controversy with the snubs because, listen to this, Ryan Gosling nominated for his portrayal of Ken, but, and I kind of predicted this in a sense. Greta Gerwig, the director, not nominated. Margot Robbie plays Barbie, not nominated. Some are very upset about this. The irony of Ken being the one out of the Barbie movie, the man is the one that gets nominated, is kind of, it's funny.
See, I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
But from what I have heard about the movie, is that's like the whole plot. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Pretty
It's
much.
the whole like men versus women thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that you thought this would happen?
Well,
You're saying that there was a better performance by Ken than Margot Robbie?
I have said that and do say that.
You stand on that.
Will stand on that. I'm a little surprised Greta Gerwig didn't get nominated for Best Director, I guess, but at least it's no surprise the other people that were nominated over her. So that makes sense in some way. Now, I was thinking this is what people don't understand is, or maybe don't think about, is they're just like, you're going to get upset. Oh, the one guy, although America Ferrera also did get nominated for her role in the movie, supporting actress, but the one guy from Barbie gets nominated, but they don't nominate the gals. But what I believe is, if any one individual was tasked with coming up with all the Oscar nominations, of course, to make it fair, make it right, and make it look nice, they would not have nominated Ryan Gosling, or they would have nominated more of the ladies. But because it's something that a bunch of people vote on, a bunch of people are like, I don't know, Margot Robbie, not quite good enough. I like these other ladies better. And so, or these other guy directors better, whatever. And so that's how that happened. I don't think that was the biggest snub, by the way.
9,500 voters.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right.
Yeah, they can't be wrong. But the biggest snub, Isaiah.
Give me the biggest snub.
And this, I'm upset about this. And the Oscars routinely gets this wrong. Best original song, Where's Peaches? Peaches from Super Mario Brothers, Jack Black. Come on.
Should have been on there.
You're telling me that's not one of the top 5 best original songs in a movie this year? Give me a break. I don't know if I can watch these things.
If podcast awards were ever a thing, this show wouldn't win any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Tonight, the New Hampshire first of the nation presidential primaries went down. We got a winner.
Who is it?
Actually, I guess we have two winners. Joe Biden won the Democratic primary. Shocker. And Donald Trump did wind up winning the Republican primary, although Nikki Haley is not dropping out. I mean, functionally, essentially, it's now decided that unless something wild happens, it's going to be Joe Biden against Donald Trump when the presidential election rolls around this November. Some people, what do you think about that? I don't know if I want to put you on the spot.
Let's do it.
Some people, now that it's basically decided, whether you like or dislike the matchup you're getting, you may just be like, well, at least we don't have to deal with like a primary where there's more stuff. You know what I mean? Because in previous elections, you've had primaries that drag out for months and months, and some people don't like that dominating the news, don't like hearing about all that. So that could be at least some silver lining, perhaps, even if you're upset possibly with the results. I was thinking about this, Isaiah, with politics, because we're in for, whether their primary continues on or not, the presidential election's coming up. Any election year is always contentious, to say the least. And I'll tell you, one of the top things that I've gathered over the years about politics that I think people, it drives them nuts and they don't even realize, is that if you take stock of even your own self, when you think about politics, what you're like, what fires you up to vote, what is it? It's, we have to stop those people. It's all opposition. We have to stop those people from getting elected. We have to stop them from enacting this policy, from doing this thing, saying this thing. It's always, we have to stop somebody else. We need to oppose and block whatever they want to do. Take a second, if you're a political person, if you're not, think about how many things that you're like, I hope we can do this thing. And what's kind of crazy is, especially in a presidential election year, you would think that's the top time where you want to be kind of positive. Like you'd want a presidential candidate that's like, we need to do these good things. But that just gets drowned. Even if they say that stuff, which they do, it just gets drowned out by all of the, we have to stop the other people. We have to stop all this stuff. And that's just, at the end of the day, it's just a negative way of looking at life. And politics is such a big part of so many people's lives. If that's what's dominating it, you're just going to have a negative outlook on the world when there's still a lot of good things going on, and politics can be meant for some good things. I say all that to say this. God wants to influence you to build good things. There is lots of stuff that, yes, probably should be opposed. Very reasonable to say that. But it shouldn't just end there. There's also good things that should be built in politics and in life. And that's what God wants to give to you, is the tools to do that, to not just say, well, we can't do that because that's bad. We've got to stop it. There needs to be an alternative. There needs to be a good side of things as well. Let's build this. Let's make this good thing happen. Jesus wants to help you do that. Again, in politics and in just life. And if you're ready for that outlook, and if you're ready for those tools, start asking God for it. Say, hey, Jesus, I'm ready for that. I want something different. I want your help. I want to have a positive outlook. I want to make some good things happen, and God will help you do it. You want to know more? Check out RadioU.com/free gift.
Oh, hi there.
This Worst of the Riot.
Crank that up.
Radio U.
We'll dive into the Battle of the Buzz in less than 15 minutes. New music from Gladden and new music from Project 86. People are going to be fired up for this one. Make sure you're a part of it coming up here in about 15 minutes on Radio U. A new Guinness World Record has just been claimed. A California woman has earned the title of world's longest arm hair. Isaiah, tell me you haven't looked.
I haven't seen yet.
How long would you guess the world's longest arm hair is?
What, a foot? Could it be a foot long?
Not even a foot long.
Not even a foot, so shorter than a foot.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed to find out what the actual length was. The world's longest arm hair is now 7.24 inches long.
7 inches.
7 inches long is the longest hair anybody has ever grown on their arm, according
And this
to
is
Guinness
anyone,
World Records.
not just women.
I believe so. Yes. It's not exactly clear, but I think it is I think it's just the longest arm hair. There's no gender categories.
Ooh, I love this.
7 inches, 7.24 inches. The gal's name, Macy Davis Sutherland from California. And she's been working on this for a long time. She says she didn't discover her unusually long arm hair until 2012. So it's taken her 12 years, a 12-year journey to earn this Guinness World Record. The story is she was at Disneyland and her best friend's brother pointed out that she had an unusually long arm hair. And she's like, and he's like, I can pull it out for you. And she's like, no, don't do that. And ever since then, she's been working on getting this to world record length.
It's growing out of her bicep.
Yeah.
What a wild place
And
to have a long hair. I don't even know. Do I even have any hair on my biceps? I don't think so.
there's
Do
gotta
you?
be some. Yeah, there's hair. You can see.
I mean, I guess
on
like the
me.
top, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like the least. Like hair grows on my arms, on my forearms the most. Your biceps have some hair, but not for me, not really much.
Yeah. I guess it maybe when you look at it that way, maybe it's surprising that 7 inches is the longest, and it's not much shorter. But nevertheless, and is this? Do you think this is weird or not? That for anybody, when I saw this too, the headline, anyways, I thought, oh, it must be like a really hairy arm. No.
It's not.
It's one individual hair, which I don't know what's weirder would be like if you had an ultra hairy bicep or you have one long hair and you refuse to cut it. You refuse to pluck it.
She's like rubbing biotin on it,
Uh-huh.
taking care of her singular arm hair. Like she has no other hair on her arm. And so I think if you saw this woman, because she has blonde hair,
Yeah.
the hair is blonde,
Uh-huh.
you wouldn't even know she has it, as I see in the video.
You would never know.
But realistically, it's just flowing in the wind.
But you would probably like, can you imagine her like she puts her arm around you or something, or you're like
no.
cuddling with her or whatever, and it's like, what's this? You keep blowing the hair out of your face.
Where's that coming from?
Yeah. You try to like brush it away, but somehow. Do you think she wore more like long sleeve to protect the arm hair and to not, I mean, it wasn't obvious, but to possibly not get gawked at like her friend's brother did? A weird thing to do. Or did she wear more short sleeves because that like lets
Helps it
flow?
grow.
Yeah, that's right. Gives it freedom.
Because I don't think you want to. I think the long sleeve, then you risk, could it like get caught or something, and then
That's
it's
right.
out of there.
Yeah.
Pull it out. Which for this, I mean, this is a frail piece of hair. It's tiny.
It can't be too frail because it grew 7 inches.
That's why I think it's getting, as it gets longer,
Yeah.
it has the likelihood of it getting pulled out.
She says that's
Has to go
she
up.
said, I mean, it doesn't take 12 years to grow a hair without some issues. And she's had that several times where it got up to 6 inches, but then would end up breaking or accidentally getting plucked. So this thing is, she's had to start over from square zero a few times over the last 12 years. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, everybody, it's really funny to me whenever you do find one of those weirdly long hairs. Like you've gotten them like in your, come out of your forehead.
Yeah.
Or like those random
Wait,
places.
I do?
No, I'm not saying you have one right now.
Oh, okay.
But everybody's had one of those.
Yeah.
And she just decided, you know what?
She embraced it.
I'm going to let it ride.
Uh-huh.
See how long this thing can get. Good for her.
It sounds like actually it could have been a lot of work. Was it all worth it?
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
Today's question, would you rather be able to get rid of one of your annoying coworkers or classmates or professors or whatever, or would you rather not have to commute anymore and you just, boom, at work or school or whatever, right away? The answers are pouring in. Regina says, be rid of an annoying coworker. I have two, one of which causes more work for others a lot. It's a good answer.
Let's get rid of them.
I hope they're listening right now. Then you have Mark and Billy both pointed this out. They said, getting rid of one annoying coworker could come back to bite you if you end up with somebody replacing them. That is worse. Now, one, to both of you, I say, That's a terrible attitude to have. The most annoying person you work with, and you're assuming that the person that replaces them is going to be worse.
We can only hope that it gets better. Right. You got to talk to your boss, you know?
That's another thing I was going to say is it's also not my problem.
If we're going to hire somebody, can you at least let me meet them before we hire them, please?
Just want to make sure they're not annoying is all. But Mark did say he has currently a 23-minute commute, used to have only 8. He would choose the commute, but the coworker thing, and Billy actually said very similar, is that it could come back to bite you. Susanna, lose the commute for the sake of being of saving gas and not having to worry about car problems and safety on the road. That's a good answer. D says, I don't really have any annoying coworkers, and most of the people that she works with actually do live right near where she works, so she's going to choose not commute. Isaiah, you know what that means, though.
What's that mean?
If you don't have any annoying coworkers.
No! Stop
D,
it.
I hate to tell you.
No! Please!
I'm sure D's not the annoying coworker. Isaiah, what would you answer here?
See, because I was thinking the same thing. I don't really have any annoying coworkers. That means, yet again, I am probably I'm the annoying
one. You're the one.
Coworker. And so for that reason, I am picking the commute. But my reason, similar, I think Billy brought this up too. Or maybe it was Mark. He says he prefers to sleep more. That's a big thing for me. I wake up early. I have a pretty long commute to work.
Yeah.
I live kind of far away. So that would give me a lot of extra sleep time, which I would love in the morning.
Are you concerned? I'm sure that your work life comes secondary to your personal life.
I mean,
but
clearly.
Are you concerned that if you had no commute and then you had to come in and do the show every day straight from, like, you just roll out of bed and you're here for the show.
Walk across the street.
That you'd be a little sleepy when you got started.
Oh.
Because you remember Nikki lives very close by. And she was sleepy every single morning.
Yeah, we do.
All the time.
She was tired.
Came in all bleary-eyed.
No, I think I would love to have no commute. And because then if I lived so close, then it'd be way easier for me to care for my pup, Jim. I could just bounce over in between segments, let him outside, give him a treat, bring him in here. Yep. Think of all the pluses, the bonuses that I'd be so close to my son.
It depends how long your commute is. I'm sure if I had a longer commute, I know that'd be the easy answer because it would free up so much of your day to do other stuff or to not do other stuff and just not be working. But I kind of like the commute in a way. Here's why I'm torn here. Because I kind of like the commute in the sense that it gives me just like, and I think Mark or somebody, Billy maybe said this, that your commute gives you time to like transition. And it gives you some alone time too. I listen to a lot of podcasts, like the Worst of the Riot podcast. Subscribe where you ever get your shows. That's a good time. I'd be able to listen to way less if I didn't have the commute, probably. So there's that. But then annoying coworker, obviously, the positive is that they annoy you and bother you. But then again, you're the type of person that likes to gossip behind their back to other coworkers. Like you guys all agree. That's a real bonding thing for the rest of the team. It's like, I can't believe Jared over there.
Oh, he's the worst.
Yeah.
I just can't stand
Jared
him.
every day. Every day with Jared, it's always something new. And that is kind of a bonding thing.
That's so true. I've worked at places in the past where there was one coworker that was more annoying than the others. And then everybody else was like, can you believe what he said today?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? And that was always a good fun break room talk.
So then it depends on how annoying Jared or whoever your annoying coworker is. If they're really annoying though, then it'd be worth it. But then you also think too, right? Getting rid of the annoying coworker, temporary. Like eventually they could be replaced with somebody worse, or just like somebody else will annoy you there, will fill their role. But the commute thing, like as long as you're at that job, you got no commute. I think I'm going the commute route because there's nobody here, too, that annoys me enough to want to get rid of them.
All I'm seeing is there's nobody in the text yet that really are annoyed by somebody who works at their
Except for
place.
Regina.
Yeah, except for Regina, true. Until you have that really annoying coworker, you
maybe
always
she just
pick
has a
bitch.
short fuse.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.